Hey everybody, and happy Halloween, almost. I wanted to give you something really easy to do. You can make this with kids, even little kids. There's going to be some things we may use a knife for, but you could even prep those ahead of time. So as you can tell from behind me, can you guys see the happy Halloween and spooky brooms and all kinds of stuff? We're starting to decorate, and this is a zombie candy corn t-shirt that I've been hanging out with for a while. If you're on, make sure to say hello. Let me know what your favorite part is about Halloween. And I know a lot of people avoid it because it just seems like it's all like sticky, gooey candy and things that aren't good for you, and you know, it doesn't have to be that way. So we're actually going to use some fresh raspberries and blueberries, and we're going to make some really cool kind of spooky eyeballs with them. And I'm going to give you a couple of different options. We're going to use either some mini vegan chocolate chips, and I'm using Enjoy Life. If you are on a special sweetener, I believe you can get a grain sweetened chocolate chip that's vegan as well. And with, like most things with chocolate chips, make sure you read the ingredients very carefully. Sometimes Costco has vegan chocolate chips and sometimes it doesn't. Trader Joe's is right now. They're dark chocolate chips. Obviously, I haven't seen any generic white chocolate chips that were vegan ever. If you find some, you got to tell me about it because I want to know. So I'm going to switch to the overhead view and show you what I have so far. So I have two different little eyes. Both of these have chocolate chips in them. So I've got a blueberry and then a chocolate chip in there. This one is one that I cut a little bit. And so they look really good, especially when you cut them. Can you see that kind of glistening? Especially if you had boys or kids that are really into gruesome things. And you know what? You could even put like a nigella seed or a poppy seed on there instead of a chocolate chip too. These plates really help show them bee eyes, but you could put it on an apple slice, and you can maybe put like, I don't know, maybe just a piece of the apple peel thick, like a little frown or something like that, and that would look really good. So I got these blueberries and raspberries just at Trader Joe's. They weren't very expensive. Hi, Amy. Thanks for joining. And these are pretty big. Some of these blueberries are giant. So the more I have to push this in, the more it's going to break this up. So I'm going to try for a smaller one. So one of the things that I did, and you could either just put a little poke in here like this. Can you guys see how that does? And some of the seeds start coming out. And then just put the chocolate chip. You're going to put it with the pointy part down. And then we're going to put that whole thing into this raspberry. And simply because it was a big raspberry and a small blueberry, and let's see if you guys can see it a little bit more that way. Great. And if you guys have some questions, let me know. I know that blueberries and raspberries aren't exactly fall fruit, but these work so well. And imagine giving your kids a whole party of eating fruit instead of eating like icky candy bars. So another thing we can do is we can cut part of this off, and it doesn't matter if you do the stem side or this side, really. So we're just going to slice this a little bit. And you could really, that one looks pretty good the way it is. See how it almost has a pupil looking thing in the middle? So that may fit in here just fine. So let me find a nice, good one. I'm going to press this in here a little bit, see? And see, we're getting a little bit of this breaking down here, and that's okay. It just looks more like a bloody eyeball. This is the one time that you can say having a bloody eyeball looking piece of food is a good thing. So, and that looks kind of creepy. So let's see, we could do something like this and maybe have this one and have them. Usually when I pair them up, because I have plates like this for all my guests, because I'm a Halloween geek, some of them I'll make them look cross-eyed at each other, but let's go ahead and try and make another one that looks like that so we can see what that might be like. Let's see if I can find, so what I'm looking for again is one that's small enough to fit in there, but plump enough to look pretty good. I'm going to slice a little bit off. Oh yeah. So that looks really pretty close. See how that's close? And so that way, this is another way you can avoid using chocolate chips if you'd rather not. This one didn't even split at all. And you can kind of meld it a little bit about how you might want it to look. You know, super round. You can squish it in a little bit. And I'm going to give you, since this one's breaking open, I'm actually going to eat it because I love raspberries and I'm not going to waste it. Let's see if I can find one that's close to that. Now, when you're using raspberries, there's usually going to be a few, like this one's a little bit soft, and they're going to mold pretty quickly. So what you want to do is make sure that you keep them as undamaged as possible before serving, and don't wash them. Oh, I think it's just that that's a big blueberry. There we go. Let me get a little, actually I need a napkin just for me. Hey Stephanie, I hope you're getting a sneak peek hopefully into some of the party stuff that you'll get to see. And so this is just plain old raspberries with blueberries that have just the top sliced off slightly, and that even already looks like pupils. And so then the other way that we can do it, I'll move some of these over. That just might pop in my mouth. Oops. They're really, really good too. So now let's find two little blueberries. And again, if you want to be super picky, you can find ones that are exactly the same. But you know what? It's a blueberry. And the people at the blueberry growers, they're not really interested in exact blueberries. So you shouldn't be either. And so I don't care that this one doesn't have as good of pupil, because I'm going to put chocolate chips in. And so you can just stick it in like this, or if you're going to leave the whole thing, you're going to want to take the knife and just open it up a little bit. And you could prepare these blueberries if you have small kids so that they don't have to have a knife at all. There we go. And now let's get a couple of raspberries. And I like doing it like this because as I'm pushing this in, it's also pushing the chocolate chip in a little bit more. And you could have the eyes going up. You could have them going at your guests. I know that's not as attractive for where you're sitting right now. Let's see. There we go. That one looks close. And it's kind of actually fun when they don't quite match up. And so I'll show you this. You're not seeing the good view here. So I'm going to come back over here. And let's see if you guys can see how that would look sitting in front of you. So it's like they're looking at you where you're sitting. So they're just super fun. And where you can get raspberries and blueberries right now, I would say Trader Joe's had them. They were not crazy expensive. I think they were about $3 or $3.50 each. And unless you're having a giant party, you probably can do with one of each. You might have to get 2 raspberries maybe if you're going over like 10 or 12 people. This is a great thing to have kids make. So you could even have a little station, and you don't have to have these super fancy plates, but you could either get the Day of the Dead paper plates. They're going to look a lot like this. Or you could even just have them draw skulls on there and decorate the paper plates and then make these to put on for eyes. But anyhow, I think this is going to be the absolute most healthy treat that you're going to be able to have for Halloween. Do any of you guys have any suggestions for some other treats? Because I'll look over here. I see that quite a few of you are on and haven't said hello yet, but I say happy Halloween to you. So I'm going to have this floating around a little bit. I'm not really going to put up one other thing that I was going to tell you about before I forget. So if you're completely not able to eat chocolate chips for many reasons, these are pomegranate seeds, and you can use pomegranate seeds instead as well. So, and here's one. So I actually went in with the tip of my knife and went around and deep so that I could put that in. And that also will make a pupil. So you have the pomegranate option as well as just the cool fatter grape option that has a little pupil. So I think that's all I have today. I did want to tell you and remind you that I am teaching a Halloween cooking class tomorrow night at 6. So it is a paid class, and you can get it. I'll put the link back up here in once I get off of here. And I'm going to be doing things like spooky green potato soup, which is really great and wholesome. I'm going to be doing a sweet potato oatmeal cookie dip, and that's great with apples. And I'm going to do a trio of dips, and each one of those is going to have a vegetable, and you're using to make all three 1 can of white beans. So it's really economical, and one will be kind of green, and one's going to be orange, and one will be white. What else am I making? Oh, I'm making deviled potatoes, and those are going to look like eyes as well. And that's going to be, those eyes are made with like olives. And so olive is another great way to go if you're doing savory eyes. And, oh, I'm going to make Harry Potter's pumpkin juice. So it's sweetened just with apple juice and dried apricots. So it's also very healthy. So if you're looking for some good, spooky yet healthy things that your kids can eat, please join me in my class. Tomorrow night it's going to be filmed live at 6 p.m. and you can take it after that. So after it's filmed live, it will be available for you to take forever. So you can take it whenever you want. So have a great Halloween, and let me know what your favorite thing is to make, and maybe you'll teach me something new, and have a great weekend.